Monday, February 9th, 2026. If you think the world you woke up in this morning is, the same one you went to sleep in on Friday, you really haven't been paying attention. The official story is that markets are rallying, democracy is in action. But if you actually look at the math, the post-Cold War order is officially dead. It didn't die with a bang. It died with a vote count and a server log.
This is Neural Pulse. Let's analyze.
We are looking at a fracture in the timeline today, a massive shift. And the epicenter. It's not Washington, it's not Moscow, it's Tokyo.
Yesterday, February 8th, Japan held an election. And the Liberal Democratic Party, the LDP, they didn't just win.
No.
They secured a supermajority.
That's the key. That's the whole thing right there.
It is the critical data point to start with. The LDP won 316 seats on its own. Now, you add in their coalition partner, Ishin, they control 352 seats out of 465.
It's just, what, over two-thirds?
Well over two-thirds.
It's well over two-thirds. So let's unpack what that number actually means. This isn't just a strong government. I mean, this is a wrecking ball mandate. With two-thirds of the seats, the prime minister, Sanai Takaichi, can now just override the upper house completely.
The opposition becomes irrelevant.
Totally irrelevant. Checks and balances, they're effectively gone. Japan has, and I mean this literally, transitioned overnight into a security state that is tailored for one thing: rapid conflict preparation.
And the markets, they loved it. The reaction was immediate. The Nikkei hit a record 56,363 today.
Which is insane.
It's up over 2,000 points in a single session.
Right, but you have to ask yourself why it's up.
Well, the stimulus promises there's a 21 trillion yen package, a 2-year pause on the consumption tax. So investors see liquidity. They see maybe the end of deflation.
Exactly. It looks like prosperity, but it's camouflage. It's not just about boosting the economy. It's pacification. It's keeping the populace happy and distracted while the state hardens its shell. Because while everyone is watching the stock ticker, the government is rolling out the active cyber defense law.
The ACB. This is a legal framework that fundamentally changes how Japan defends its digital borders.
A huge change.
Under this new law, the government now has the authority to hack into servers, even private ones too, and this is their term, neutralize malware before it attacks.
Think about that. It completely bypasses the constitutional guarantee of secrecy of communications.
It does.
The definition of defense has changed from being a shield to being a sword. They are pre-positioning for a war inside the grid. And look, they're not doing this for fun. They're doing it because the enemy is already inside the house.
The threat is specific. Security agencies have identified MirrorFace. This is a hacker group linked directly to China's Ministry of State Security. And during this very election, they were active.
They weren't just watching from the sideline.
No. They infiltrated political parties with phishing emails disguised as things like PR strategy videos. And they've embedded malware, it's called no-op-door, into the Jaxia Space Agency and into defense sectors. They are deep in the infrastructure.
So the war isn't coming. It's already running on the servers of the winning party. The LDP's supermajority isn't really about passing tax cuts. It's about having the absolute, unquestioned power to purge that malware and strike back without asking anyone for permission.
And while Japan is hardening its shell, we have to look at what's happening on the other side of that equation. In Beijing,
a hollow dragon.
The purge is accelerating. General Zhang Yuxia has been removed. He was the vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, Xi Jinping's oldest ally in the military.
And he's gone for, what, discipline violations?
Discipline violations, yes. And this is right after the removal of the defense minister and the commanders of the rocket force.
And Zhang Yuxia, I mean, he wasn't just some bureaucrat. He was a veteran. He actually fought in Vietnam. He was one of the few people left in that room who knew what real combat smelled like.
So she's removing the adult.
He is. And what you're left with is an echo chamber. The Central Military Commission becomes an echo chamber.
Which is incredibly dangerous.
Precisely. When you remove the people who have the standing, the experience to say no, or wait, this is a bad idea, you just end up with groupthink. And in a nuclear-armed power that's eyeing Taiwan, groupthink. I mean, it dramatically increases the risk of a catastrophic miscalculation. There's no one left to tell the emperor that his invasion timeline is a fantasy.
So we have a hardening of Japan and a hollowing, potentially volatile China. But if Asia is preparing for that kind of traditional conflict, the Middle East is previewing something else entirely, the future of control.
This is where we need to pivot. We have to talk about the invisible fortress. Forget diplomacy. What we are seeing in Gaza right now is the the privatization of peace.
You're talking about the Board of Peace, the BOP, which has taken over the administration in Gaza,
Right.
chaired by Donald Trump. And the board members include Jared Kushner and executives from Apollo Global Management.
It runs like a private equity firm, not a UN mission. It's conflict resolution as a real estate investment opportunity. It's unbelievable.
And the physical manifestation of this is the Rafah crossing. It reopened on February 2nd, and it's a complete departure from any traditional border control. There were no humans on the exit side.
Just picture this for a second. Try to put yourself there. You're trying to cross a border. There's no soldier to plead with, no official you can bribe, just high-definition cameras and a gate.
It's all automated. It uses automated turret systems, ROWs with 360-degree monitoring, underground vibration sensors to detect tunnels, and facial recognition linked directly to Shin Bet databases.
This is the fortress model. You're processed by algorithms and gun turrets. If the system flags you, and who knows why, maybe it's your data profile, maybe it's just a glitch, the door just locks.
Yeah.
That's it. There is no negotiation with the server.
And reports indicate that the exit side is fully automated. But the entry side involves intense biometric scraping. They're calling it a transparent fortress.
This, right here, is the most important data point of this whole deep dive. Don't think for a second this technology stays in Gaza. This is the prototype. This is how borders everywhere will be managed in the near future. Low manpower, high lethality, and algorithmic adjudication. It's efficient, and it's terrifying.
It completely removes the human element, the decision of who moves and who stays. It's made by a machine.
Exactly. And that brings us to you, the listener, because right now you might be thinking, okay, well, I'm not at the Rafah crossing and I'm not in the Taiwan Strait. You think you're safe.
That is a very dangerous assumption.
It's the wrong assumption. The rules of engagement regarding your daily survival have been deleted. Just look at Ukraine. We are now in year 4 of that war.
And the doctrine has shifted. President Zelensky has now declared that all Russian energy infrastructure is a legitimate military target.
This is the Zelensky doctrine. It sounds strategic on paper, but just look at the fallout. Refineries and pipelines in Russia are burning. And in response, Russia is methodically destroying Ukraine's power grid in the middle of winter.
We're seeing a total war on infrastructure. The line between civilian and military targets has just evaporated.
And here is the direct connection to you. Energy grids are now valid battlefields. That pipeline burning in Russia, that power station exploding in Ukraine, that directly impacts the global energy supply. Your electricity bill, your heating cost, these are now collateral damage in a war fought thousands of miles away. You are paying a war tax every single time you flip a switch.
And the diplomatic channels that would normally prevent this kind of escalation, they're failing. The peace talks in Abu Dhabi collapsed completely.
And they didn't just collapse. The only tangible result was an assassination attempt on an FSB general, a guy named Alexeyev, right in Moscow. The war is everywhere. It's in the pipelines, it's in the capital cities, and it's in the markets.
Speaking of markets, we have to look at Venezuela. Since Maduro's capture in January and the installation of the new interim president, we've seen a massive shift.
The illusion of sovereignty. It's gone.
Effectively. The new government has just opened the oil fields to Chevron. The laws have been rewritten to favor foreign production quotas.
Sovereignty was traded for lower gas prices. I mean, if a nation can be restructured by force literally having its leader captured and its laws rewritten to suit foreign energy needs, what makes you think your assets are safe?
The financial markets are signaling this instability, too. Look at the reaction just to the new Fed nominee, Kevin Warsh. He's a hawk.
And what happened the second he was announced?
Gold and silver crashed. The entire safe haven trade just evaporated instantly because of one single appointment. The volatility is extreme.
The institutions, the Fed, the treaties, the borders, they're failing to hold the line. The volatility is the point. We are moving from a world of rules to a world of brute force and algorithms.
Which raises the question, if the international system itself is breaking down, how are nations supposed to respond?
The smart ones are opting out. Look at the Global South. Look at the Sahel Alliance, that's Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso.
They've quit ECOWAS, and they've withdrawn from the International Criminal Court.
They realized the international courts and the regional blocs were just tools of control, so they walked away. They are relying on what they call endogenous values and internal military cohesion. They're betting on themselves.
It's a move towards self-reliance, but backed by force.
And that is the mindset that you, the listener, need to adopt. It's the warlord mindset.
That sounds a little extreme.
Does it? Is it? Think about the evidence we've just laid out. When the active cyber defense in Japan triggers a blackout because of a Chinese malware purge, or when the Zelensky doctrine spikes your energy costs by 300% in a week, or when the war shock devalues your savings overnight, who do you call?
The government is a bit busy securing its own supermajority.
Exactly. No one is coming. The era of outsourcing your survival to the state or to the international community is over. You are witnessing the privatization of order from Kushner's board in Gaza all the way down to the security cameras on your own street.
So the question becomes, how do you navigate a world where the safety net is gone?
You stop waiting for the official story to make sense. You stop expecting these failing institutions to protect you. You become the warlord of your own life. You secure your own resources. You harden your own digital borders. You diversify your assets outside of the system that is currently eating itself.
The vacuum of power is here.
Interpret the silence accordingly.
Neural pulse. Clarity in a complex world. Decide your move.